Anybody can serve God when there are no significant challenges in your life. Anybody can serve God when things work out pretty much the way you plan. You've got a business to manage, a job to go to, you have checks coming in, you got children that act up like normal children. You're making passing grades, you got clothes to change into, you got a place to stay, you're not in trouble or having any serious relationship issues. Anybody can serve God when He's bringing the blessings of faith. So in order to test your sincerity, God allows you to be confronted with the other side of faith, the burdens of faith, to see what kind of stuff you're made out of, to see if you are for real or if you just playing church, if you just playing Christian, to see if you love things more than you love Him, to prevent you from becoming comfortable and complacent and anemic in your faith. So that you and I don't get self-centered and off-centered, so that we don't stop praying with conviction, so that we don't stop seeking God in spirit and in truth. God permits us to experience the burdens of faith.
All right.
And a critical part of carrying the burden of faith is when God permits Satan to throw everything at you, including the kitchen sink. And then he challenges you to hold on and not give up on Him. Now keep it 100. I am more than persuaded that God can't trust everybody with what Satan throws at them. You know, to not give up on God and to not miss a beat in their praise of God, while in the process of being hit and bombarded with trouble and misfortune. Somebody called that kind of praise crazy praise. Yeah, I'm not talking about just running and jumping and dancing all over the place. That's praise, but that ain't crazy praise. I'm not talking about when the choir sings or the praise team sings and something in the song moves you on the inside and makes you stand up on your feet or lift up your hands or lose every ounce of your composure while you join in singing the song like it's your song. That might be praise, but that ain't crazy praise. I'm not talking about when the word of God goes forth in sermonic form and inspires you to shout, cry, or give your life to the Lord or change the way you are living. That might be a form of praise, but that ain't crazy praise. Hallelujah is the highest praise, but it ain't crazy praise. May I tell you what crazy praise is? While the words are not found in the Bible, the concept is. You see, family, crazy praise was when Job had lost all he had. His livestock, nearly all of his servants, his 10 children in the same day, his wealth, his intimacy and support of his wife, the respect of his close friends, and even his good health. He had suffered excruciating emotional, physical, and spiritual pain, but he still had enough faith in him to say it and mean it in his heart. Naked I came from my mother's womb, naked I shall return. The Lord gave, the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Now that's crazy praise. And now the thing about crazy praise is that crazy praise just don't make sense. But Job didn't stop right there. He kept on giving it. Though he slay me, yet will I trust him. That's crazy praise, y'all. Did you hear him after he was afflicted by Satan with painful boils from the crown of his head to the sole of his feet? There he is in an unrecognizable state, barely able to lift up his head while scraping the itch deep down within his skin with a piece of pottery while he sat in the midst of the ashes. He could be heard saying, in all the days a change comes. That's crazy praise. And it just don't make sense, y'all. Fast forward beyond this 19th chapter and he's still at it. But he knows the way that I take. And when he has tested me, I shall come forth like pure gold. In other words, don't keep looking for me in the ashes. Don't miss that. Don't keep looking for me in the ashes, because I'm going to come forth like pure gold. Y'all, that's crazy praise. But I keep trying to tell whoever will hear me that not everybody can give God crazy praise, because before you can give it, you have to experience an unresolved problem. You know, some unresolved trouble or some unresolved misfortune that has not been worked out and may not ever be worked out. But you got to be able to give him praise while you are hoping and praying that he's working it out. Is anybody bold enough to admit that you have an unresolved problem? You got an unresolved issue you're dealing with. And the real tough issues, you got a real tough issue that you're dealing with. You have not been delivered. You're going through an unfinished test. You lost something or someone who was dear to you, and you have yet to get over it. The Bible says that my God shall supply every one of your needs according to his riches and glory, but you still having that unresolved problem. But the Lord stood me up to tell somebody, you're in a perfect place to give him crazy praise. A praise that just don't make sense. And I know some of y'all done got messed up because I ain't speaking good English, but I didn't come to teach English just like I didn't come to sing. Come on, it just don't, I know it just don't make sense. You can be hurting from the deepest place in your heart, but still lift up your hands and your voice in praise to God. That's a crazy kind of, I just want to know, have you ever given God crazy praise? I mean, you had trouble all the way up to here. You had pain all the way up to here, but yet somehow and some way you lifted up your head, you raised up your hands, and you threw back your head, and you said, thank you, Lord, that things are as well as they are. Can somebody give God a praise because they are as well as they are? Come on, give God some praise, y'all. My brothers and sisters, listen, that's crazy praise for those of us who have an unresolved problem. Are you up to giving God that kind of praise? You know, the kind of praise that Job gave him. Listen, I don't know, you may have a sickness that you're dealing with, but you got to be able to give him crazy praise. You may have an unresolved issue with your disease, but you got to be able to give him crazy praise. You may have some issues with your marriage. You may have some issues with your finance. You may have some issues with your house. You may have some issues with the law, but you got to be able to give him crazy praise while you waiting on him to work it out. Anybody know you waited on him to work it out and he worked it out? Listen, crazy praise, y'all. I am convinced there comes a time in every life when all you can do is give God crazy praise, a praise that just doesn't make any sense. And sometimes crazy praise gets crazy, you know, when your neighbor looking at you, your neighbor know what you're going through, and your neighbor trying to figure out how are you able to praise God, how are you able to have a positive attitude, all the stuff you going through. That's what makes it crazy, because your neighbor can't understand it. Your friend can't figure it out. Do I have anybody who knows that sometimes that's the only kind of praise you can give him is crazy praise? Listen, you remember Job, don't you? You remember Job? You remember Job? You remember Job? His name has been made synonymous with suffering, pain, and patience. He was blameless and upright, and one who worshiped God and shunned evil. He was a man of great spiritual maturity and personal integrity, a man of high moral character. chapter, he was said to be the greatest man in all the people of the East. Although there is no priesthood or sanctuary mentioned as being in the land of Uz where Job lived, nevertheless he committed himself to offering sacrifices to God, even for every one of his 10 children, for the sins they may have committed unwittingly. In other words, even sins that they may not have known they had committed. Job said, I better offer a sacrifice for just in case you ain't right with God. I wish I had some mothers in the house who know you had to offer some prayer for some children who you know that were not right with God. Y'all, Job's righteous status reminds us that nobody is exempt from having unresolved problems. Nobody is exempt from having trouble. Trouble knows your name, your address, your zip code, and if you move, it will know your forwarding address, because somehow and some way trouble will follow you. Am I right about it? As a matter of fact, like it did with Job, sometimes trouble gets worse before it gets better, and it just won't shut up. It'll keep on coming, it'll keep on coming, because I can say that because Satan was permitted to intensify his attack on Job. Not only had he caused Job to lose his 10 children and most of his servants, all of his livestock, and all of his wealth, the respect of his friends, and the support and companionship from his wife, but Job also lost his good health. And it got worse, y'all, long before it got any better. But not only does he hold on to his faith, y'all, but he couples it with this notion of crazy praise. Because right here in this 19th chapter, he's at it again. Did you hear him? For I know that my Redeemer lives, and he shall stand at last on the earth. And after my skin is destroyed, this I know, that in my flesh I shall see God, whom I shall see for myself, and my eyes shall behold him, and not another. Family, after all Job has been through and was going through, in the present of his moment, that praise seemed to come out of nowhere from a crazy place, and it just don't make sense how Job was able to do that. At the very beginning of this chapter, chapter 19, you can sense Job's irritation over his friends' shameless and continuous insinuations and accusations against his character. You know, Job, you must have done something wrong so far. Job, you must have done something wrong. Bildad. Job, you must have done something wrong. Eliphaz. Everybody kept telling him he had done something wrong. He has become impatient with their claims of religious superiority. And y'all, they could not keep it up. They could not keep in step with Job while he was up, and now they won't let him up while he's down. He expressed his feelings of being abandoned by God, and the notion that God's attacks on him were misaimed and were just flat out wrong, because Job felt in his heart of hearts that he had not done anything wrong to deserve what he was getting. He blames God for alienating him from his friends. You got to read it. You got to read it. He blames God for alienating him from his friends, from his relatives, from his servants, and even from his wife. There is no question that Job is struggling right along in here with his faith in God. He is emotionally agitated and spiritually aggravated. And don't look at me like you ain't never been there. A whole lot of us have been emotionally agitated. We've been irritable. We've been discontent. We've been restless because things just won't come together the way we want them to. We've been spiritually deep desire is to defend his integrity. So he wishes for the record of his life to be written and inscribed in a book, engraved on a rock with an iron pen and filled in with lead so that it lasts forever. He wants a permanent record to preserve his innocence and to prove that he has been mistreated. But Rolanda, listen, I don't know how he does it, but in the very next verse, somebody say, don't quit reading, don't quit reading. In the very next verse, I told the Bible study the other day, don't stop at the first verse because you still got some more chapter to live. Come on, somebody, listen, I don't know how he does it, but in the very next verse, Job manages to rise above all of his troubles in what somebody called the energy of his faith. Job said, for I know that my Redeemer lives, and he shall stand on the earth. Y'all, somehow the reality of his faith proves stronger than the reality of his suffering. What I'm trying to say is that you need a real faith when you're going through real problems. You can't have no weak faith when you're going through some real problems, and real faith will always be stronger than your real problems because of who you have your faith in. Am I right about it? Ain't no way you're going to be under the circumstance because you got a real faith and you're dealing with a real problem. Listen, did you hear Job? Did you hear Job? For I know that my Redeemer lives. This verse has been called the high point of his trust and dependence on God. Job had lost all he had, but not all that mattered, because he manages to hold on to his faith in God. Y'all missed that. He lost his children. He lost his livestock. He lost his finance. He lost his respect from his wife and from his friends. He even lost his health. Trying to help somebody understand. But he held on to his faith. He held on to his faith in God. Child of God, when you are going through stuff that matters, what matters most is your faith in God. What you have to know, church, is that this 25th verse could and more than likely began with the word but instead of for, like it is in the New King James Version. At first, Job wants the record of his life to be written down on a permanent record, but midstream he scratches that and says, but I know my Redeemer lives. Listen, he no longer wanted it written down because he decided to put it and leave it in God's hands. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Anybody know you got some stuff you need to put it and leave it in God? I don't know what you're dealing with, but I said put it and leave it in. I know you got problems with your children. You got problems with your health. I said put it and leave it in his hands. Listen, my brothers and sisters, he was willing to trust God to be his witness and to testify of his works on his behalf. Y'all, I don't know if you got what just happened, but Job was asking for justice. Did you miss that whole thing, y'all? He wanted a permanent record, wanted it written down because he wanted what he felt like he deserved, and he knew he did not deserve what it was he was going through. So he said, write it down, put it on the record. I want my record all written down because I'm going to need y'all to know what I've done even after I've gone. But then he starts thinking about it, say, don't write it down. I know my Redeemer lives. I don't trust him to come down here and give me what he knows I deserve. Y'all, I need you to understand, in my estimation, it just don't make sense. Okay, here's the point. Who in their right mind would ask God for what they deserve? Who in their right mind would ask God for what they deserve? Let me put it this way. I don't want justice because I need some mercy. And I know I'm not all by myself. Is anybody up in here who knows you don't need any justice, but you need some mercy? I don't know about you, but that's what I'm going to need. My brother, my sister, what would God have to say if he came down and testified about you? Come on, what would God say? Would he say you're a strong Christian? Would he say that you are saved and sealed and sanctified? What would he say? Would he say that you get scared when a little trouble comes? What would God's testimony be about you? Listen, do you have the confidence of Job? You already know God can see everything about you, but do you have the courage of Job to want God to tell it? Listen, I don't know how you feel about it, but I'm still working on my testimony that I want God to give for me. So every time I preach this word, I'm working on his testimony for me. Every time I help somebody, I'm working on his testimony for me. Every time I try to do what's right, I'm working on his testimony. Do I have anybody up in the house who can work on your testimony of what you want God to say about you right now? Because you know you got some stuff you're going through, but you don't want to act like you just going along for the ride. You really love the Lord, even though the Lord hadn't changed what you wanted to change. But can you go on and tell him thank you in advance because you believe in that? Listen, I don't want justice. I need some mercy. Anybody over here need some mercy? Anybody over here need some mercy? Come on, we all need some mercy. Okay, let me finish this up. Listen, the relevant question is, how do you get to a crazy praise while you're in the midst of a crushing predicament? How do you get to a crazy praise when it just don't make sense? Come on, this is going to help somebody. If you want to get there, first of all, don't allow what you see to make you forget what you know. Did you hear what I said? Don't let what you can see make you forget what you know. Job could see the remnants and ruin of all that had happened to him. He could still see the empty fields that once supported his flocks. He could still see the remains of the flocks that were burned while they were grazed. He could see the empty quarters where his servants used to live, but now wasn't hardly nobody hanging around there. He could see the ruins of his older son's house, which had a great wind to blow it down, causing it to collapse on all 10 of his children. Yo, maybe he had some mementos around his house that represented better times between him and Mrs. Job. He could see the sores on his body from head to toe. He could see his clothes and shoes that he could no longer wear, and combs for his hair that he could no longer use. He could see firsthand how his health had deteriorated in a matter of just a few days. He could see his friends who were physically by his side, but spiritually and compassionately they were miles away as they rerouted his righteousness over to unrighteousness. But with all that he could see, and as depressing as it was, he did not allow any of it to make him forget what he knew. That God was not his adversary, that God was his advocate. Anybody know what it's like to have God on your side? He did not understand any of what he saw, but he knew his Redeemer lived. Can't you hear him? I can't explain why this, I can't explain why that, but I know that my Redeemer lives, and I haven't done anything wrong. Because watch this, the word Redeemer means one who delivers from afflictions and wrong that are not due to sin. Brother Job was holding on to his innocence, but because, Second Baptist, we cross over into the New Testament and are familiar with the work of Jesus, there needs to be an additional understanding of his designation as Redeemer. Somebody say Redeemer. Okay, here it is. A Redeemer is someone who pays a price to get something back or to get something that he desires. Make no mistake about it. of Jesus Christ. You know, Jesus paid it all. All to him I owe. Sin had left the crimson stain, but he washed me white as snow. Now maybe Job was thinking about how much he had said about God being unfair, and his mind took him to the 19th Psalm, where it said, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my Redeemer. I keep trying to tell whoever will hear me that you can't blame God when you need God. Am I right about it? With all that Job was going through, he understood several things. He understood, first of all, that he was worth redeeming. That's the word God told me to tell somebody who was up in Second Baptist tonight. You are worth redeeming. Listen, it doesn't matter how wrong you've been. It doesn't matter how many mistakes you made. You are worth redeeming. It doesn't matter how old you are or how young you are, what color you are worth redeeming. Am I right about it? Did anybody get happy tonight because you know you are worth redeeming? Other folk will kick you to the curb and they'll leave you there. But you serve a God. But when he looks at you, he sees that you were created in his image and that you are worth redeeming. Secondly, he understood that his Redeemer would not leave him in a bad situation on a permanent basis. Did you hear what I said? He understood that his Redeemer wouldn't leave him in a bad situation on a permanent basis. Somebody ought to be able to relate to that, because God didn't leave you where the heck he found you. Because you know where he found you, it was not a good place. But thank God that you didn't have to stay there on a permanent basis. In the old church they said it like this: he may not come when you want him to come, but when he gets there, he'll be on time. Anybody know he won't leave you in a bad situation on a permanent basis? He may not come on Monday, he may not come on Tuesday, he may not come on Wednesday, but don't you give up, because he will. Yes, he will show up. And when he shows up, he'll show up. When he shows up, won't he do it? Job learned that he was worth redeeming. Job learned that his Redeemer would not leave him in a bad situation on a permanent basis. And third, he learned that his Redeemer will have the last word over his life. Because to stand upon the earth, the word earth means grave, or it means dust. Job said, my Redeemer will have the last word. I need somebody to understand. God will have the last word. Job even knew that. He said, even though I may die and get down in my grave, the Lord will stand upon the earth. And when he gets doggone good ready, when he wants to have the last word, he'll call my name and pick me up out of my death. Is anybody in the house who knows that the Lord can pick you up from a dead situation? Go on and tell him thank you. Tell him thank you. Cause your Redeemer, he is our major need when we stand before God, is for a Redeemer. That's what Jude reminds us of when he writes these words. Now unto him who is able to keep you from falling and to present you faultless before the presence of his glory with exceeding joy. To the only wise God, our Savior, our Redeemer, be glory and majesty